Good day, everyone. I am Cris Mae Mariñas, your reporter for today. So today, I am going to report the natural contraceptive methods, which includes the following. First is the cervical MUCUS method. Second, symptothermal method. Third, ovulation detection. And lastly, coitus interruptus. And I hope you will learn from my discussion. Sit back, relax, and learn. In this lesson, you will obtain the three objectives that I have prepared. First objective is to be able to know and learn what are the different contraceptive methods. Second, be educated enough about the family planning. And lastly, to be able to know what are the best contraceptive methods to use. Before I would go further to my discussion, I would ask something. Are you ready to become a parent? Or do you want to get pregnant? If not, you should listen and take down notes what would be my discussion all about, because this might help you to prevent into pregnancy. So let's start. Our first topic is the cervical MUCUS method. So what is cervical MUCUS method? The cervical MUCUS method is a technique used in natural family planning. So, when we say technique, it is a manner in which these couples usually use to prevent pregnancy. It involves tracking changes in your cervical mucus or fluid discharge by the lower part of your uterus. It means a woman checked her fluid discharge, or some of us would say white fluid or white blood if I'm not mistaken. This fluid protects the sperm when it travels through a woman's reproductive system to meet an egg. So it is very clear that the fluid will protect the sperm so that the woman would not be pregnant. The change in the cervical mucus during ovulation is the basis for this method. During ovulation, the cervical mucus is copious. So when we say copious, it means abundant or many. Thin and watery. It also exhibits the property of the spin barket, wherein it can be stretched up until at least 1 inch. So if we will stretch the fluid, it will last at 1 inch. And it is slippery. The woman is used to be fertile as long as the cervical mucus is copious and watery. Therefore, she must avoid coitus during those days to prevent conception. So, when we say coitus, couples should avoid sex if the woman is on her fertile days. The cervical mucus method helps people identify a woman's most fertile days each month. Some women who want to get pregnant use the cervical mucus method to pinpoint the best days of the month to have sex. So as you can see, the cervical mucus method is very useful to the couples because they are identifying the fluid of their wives to do sex. So it is safe. You would ask, how does the cervical mucus method work? To use the cervical mucus method, check your cervical mucus every day. So it should be every day. Observe the color and feel the consistency by rolling and pulling it between your thumb and index finger. So you should check and observe the color of your fluid, and you should try to pull it and use your thumb or index finger. So to check your mucus, you can first collect discharge from your underwear. Second, put a clean finger into the vagina. And lastly, wipe the vagina with a clean toilet paper. So aside from that, the cervical method has a benefits. First benefit is it does not cost anything. So we should not, so there is no money to be cost. Second, no side effect. The cervical mucus method looks like this, so please observe the picture so that you can learn from it. The second natural contraceptive methods that I am going to discuss is the symptothermal method. The symptothermal method. It is a fertility awareness method used to predict when a woman might be fertile. So it is a fertility awareness. The method uses body temperature and other signs and symptoms of ovulation. The symptothermal method is basically a combination of BBT or body basal temperature method and the cervical mucus method. The symptothermal method is the most trustworthy of all natural family planning because it incorporates several signs of the woman's fertility like cervix changes, morning temperature, and calculation to determine the beginning and the end of the fertile period. So it is clear that a symptothermal method is a fertility awareness method, diba? In addition, symptothermal method has the same method with the calendar method. So when we say calendar method, we will be predicting where and when is our fertility period. So I am showing some pictures here. What is the calendar method? So you should be aware and you should learn from it. The menstrual cycle unlocks the secrets of your fertility. Yes. During the symptothermal method, when we say symptothermal method, it is all about our fertility because we are going to use the calendar method where we can predict what or when is our fertile days. How does symptothermal method work? So, the symptothermal method works by recording daily observation of the woman's fertility. So, you should always record your observation of your fertility. The woman's basal body temperature should be recorded, cervical mucus should be recorded, and also the changes in the cervix and other symptoms of ovulation should be recorded. The third natural contraception methods that I am going to discuss is the ovulation method. What is ovulation detection? The ovulation detection method uses an over-the-counter kit that requires the urine sample of a woman. The kit can predict ovulation through the source of luteinizing hormone or LH that happens to 12 to 24 hours before ovulation. So there are several ways to detect ovulation. It includes urine test kits to measure LH levels, transvaginal ultrasound, endometrial biopsy, and lastly the BBT or the basal body temperature. Please observe the picture. This picture shows the pros and cons of ovulation predictors. So the pros: relatively easy to use. Second, tells you when ovulation is approaching. Third, does not need to be used right when you wake up. And lastly, more comfortable alternative checking for cervical mucus. And the cons is can get expensive, difficulty of reading of positive test result. Third, may not work well for women with PCOS. Fourth, may yield false positives. And lastly, can't always confirm when ovulation will happen. So please observe the picture so that you can have an idea what is ovulation. The last natural contraceptive methods that I am going to discuss is the coitus interruptus. Do you have an idea what is coitus interruptus? If not, well, I will discuss it for you. So the coitus interruptus, also known as a withdrawal, is a traditional family planning method. So it is known because it is traditional family planning. The man completely removes his penis from the vagina and away from the external genitalia of the female partner before he ejaculates. So a man will remove his penis from the vagina before he ejaculates. So the coitus interruptus prevents sperm from entering the woman's vagina, thereby preventing contact between spermatozoa and the ovum. So a woman will not be pregnant because the sperm of the man wala siya na sulod. So the women will not pregnant. So in the summary, there are lots of contraceptive methods used in family planning, but cervical MUCUS method, symptothermal method, and coitus interruptus are some of the best contraceptive methods used in family planning. It is because it is safe and there is no side effects with those natural contraceptive methods that I have discussed. So I hope you have learned from my discussion, and thank you for listening.